Cool. So, today my line of thinking was to get the unlock minigame graphics updated since our artist has provided our new graphics for them. So that'll be great. I was also going to work on fine-tuning a little bit of one of the micro games that everyone was complaining about, which is called, I believe, Flappy Sombrero. So we're going to make that game a little easier. But anyways, we're going to start off by, as usual, basically turning off the GUI entirely. It's a good idea. And bringing up unlock. Alright, so this is what unlocks look like. It's a fairly simple game. You try to drag the key out. There's this trigger collider here. If it detects that the key is out of this trigger collider, then you succeed. But we want to change this graphic a little bit. There's apparently a super easy difficulty that I created for whatever reason. Huh. I don't think we need that anymore, but okay. That was there, and this is now. That's right, so where did I put these sprites? Okay, these are the sprites, and this is the handle. Okay. So probably that actually makes things a lot easier because the rigid body and the actual script that handles these movement things is in the parent, which means that we just need to kind of replace these black graphics. We just remove the sprite renderers from there and instead add the key graphics that our artist Astra put together. So that makes things easy. Pretty happy with that. Here we go. So this is our graphic. We just need to kind of mix and match it. We need to obviously flip this in the opposite direction, and we're gonna jack the order layer number out here so that we can actually see it on top. Drag this a little bit here. Drag this a little bit out here so we can kind of match the thickness. Right. So this should be approximately the size we're looking for. An easier way, I guess, is just kind of clicking this and make sure that the boundaries are properly set. I am working in 2D. This game is pretty much in 3D, but that's alright. That looks about right to me. Could be just a tinge bit larger. Okay, yeah, that looks good to me. So that is good. We just need to now set up these spokes and whatnot with the graphics removed and kind of slightly resize their colliders as necessary. So we don't need those sprite renderers anymore. We can get rid of those. We can get rid of the sprite renderer too. Let's make sure that this spoke covers the graphic properly. There it said no friction, so it's always, there's absolutely no friction on it. That's a good, smart thing to do. Key, we're going to make this just a tiny bit thinner and obviously a whole lot more taller. And the handle is going to be the weird part. I think this is supposed to go up a little more and definitely make it a lot larger than it is right now, like this big. Make sure it doesn't touch the base there. Raise it up a little bit. There, I'd say that's about good. I guess I should mention that I am streaming twitch.tv live stream. So anyways, we got those stuff working. That should make it easy for the easy key, and the maze is probably the one big thing that I should work on. Here we go, the puzzle base. So the way, let me see how these are also set to default, and the key easy, we set it to there. We should probably just set this to 0 for now. Then I'm gonna set the puzzle base into, 1. So the way our artist and I eventually discussed about this is we want to make sure that the base can basically be flipped over. So right now this is a little short. We want to make sure that its height follows properly and matches up. So that's... that doesn't quite look right. Okay, let's do that instead. Kinda slowly fall around there. Okay, so I think that about snugly does it. And then make sure that it's not stretched from the width perspective. So that's fine. Alright, yeah, I'm a little picky here. That's fine. We just need to duplicate this, flip the X direction, and then paste it the other side. That looks fine by me. We want to make sure, obviously, these are both aligned in the same y-axis. That's good. And then I'm going to make this basically the one drawn on top. We want to make sure that things are not flying or fighting with each other. I probably will actually up that by a couple of digits, so it'll make it easier for me to remember which one's which. That's fine. This one we'll call base right. This one we'll call base left. And then this little notch is going to be important. We're going to remove these renderers. Be a good idea. Oh, whoops. Never mind about those renderers. We need you still. And we're going to have you probably drawn at the highest level. And then what we want you, this is going to be basically covering any sort of like puzzle notch elements here. So, okay, that should make that a little easy to do. Yeah, that looks good. So that should allow us to remove these components. Yep. I'd say that looks good to me. And that's our first easy puzzle. I mean, it's just pull it a little bit to the left and then pull out. We actually occasionally flip the game, but other than that, it should be pretty easy for anyone to do this. Easy to figure out for anyone how to do this. And we just go through and basically do the same thing for the rest of the difficulty levels as well. Yeah, so we did this in a kind of a simple manner. We're going to want to duplicate these and position at exactly the same space for the maze medium here. And then disable everything from easy. Yeah, that's, we're going to need to rename that one later, but I'm not too concerned right now. Let's call these the right names. Alright, there's a couple of spokes here that we need to worry ourselves with, so that's where that unlock notch is going to go instead. Okay, so it looks like we need to actually move these out a little bit. That's fine. There we go, that's the first one. And this one goes all the way up to here. So we might actually need to stretch these a tiny bit so that they actually meet in the middle there. That's fine. Maybe that much. Let's see if this looks right. Just gonna play around with the transparency there. It seems to follow from the original formula really well, so I say that's good. It's good success. Make sure that's 100%. Okay, good. So the notch then, we need 2 notches here. We'll call this notch parentheses 1. Why not? And notch parentheses 2. No reference to Marcus Pearson, of course. And drop these basically at these locations. So probably for both of them we should pull in a tiny bit of transparency so that we know what we're doing. Yep. That to me looks like it's following through the maze that we've created. Or I call it at the very least. It's not really a maze, but whatever. Alright, that's that. This one goes here. Close this gap. And then make it so that, there we go. It's at 100%. Alright, that looks good. We can remove all these dark graphics. And yeah, that looks good to me. Maybe this upper notch could be slightly brought down a little bit. There we go. Alright, cool. The key can be made a lot easier. I'm probably gonna copy the key from easy actually. Unlock key easy, just gonna copy that. We're gonna call you unlock key medium. And then replace you with the proper sprite. Okay, so this is also flipped the other direction. Oh, no, never mind. This actually follows through pretty closely, which is nice. We might need to make it a tiny bit smaller. That's actually really good. And then we can kind of like fade it in and out and make sure it follows through. Okay, so it's a little misaligned from the top, it looks like to me. Cool. Alright, yeah, that looks good to me. Alright, cool. So then the handle, we can probably copy the collider from the handle here. The transform will copy, transform paste values. We can also probably copy this handle, make the colliders much larger. Get the key here, copy that, paste values. All right, so yeah, that better aligns those. And the spokes here, I think is perfectly fine actually. So then it's just a question of removing all the sprite renderers. There we go. Make sure again this is at max, and make sure again that these colliders follow through with the graphics really well. And it looks to me like it is. So that's good. Excuse me. So hard is like the weird one. Let's copy all of these and just drag and drop them in here. Take that out. Make sure those are positioned correctly. All right, so yeah, this one's a little weird in the sense that we're going to take these out for now. This specific this specific difficulty is a lot taller than the rest of the puzzles, so we need to kind of align the height properly. That looks to me like it's right. Let's kind of like fiddle around with the opacity here. I think that looks right to me. Alright, so then if the height is supposed to look like that, then we'll switch the width to look in scale. That'll make things just a tiny bit easier. Okay. We'll scale the other side as well and move it around as such. Make sure that the Y coordinates remain the same. Cool. Alright, I'd say that looks about right to me. Yeah, that looks about right to me. And then, like, if we were to expand this to the iPad resolution, it should not reveal anything else. Actually, now that I think of it, does it reveal a little bit of the edge for the other puzzles? Probably not. Pretty darn sure it doesn't. It doesn't look like it. Cool. So, same thing here, duplicate that, drop it into the key hard. Oh, I forgot about the notches. Whoops. Let's reveal these. Probably change that to 1. And since it is at 1, we'll probably want to put it there while this one over here. Anyways, 1. Let's shrink that a little bit. Yeah, that one goes here, that one goes here. And then let's squeeze it in a tiny bit. It looks to me like you can just barely see the black there from the original prototype, so let's take that out. Here we go. That seems to do the job. This one, let's just cover that up one more time. And let's call that number 2. And let's move that up here. All right. That looks about right to me. We should be able to test this theory pretty quickly. And yeah, it looks right to me. All right, cool. So then we can just take out all these sprite render graphics, right, and make sure that the collider looks carefully aligned with the graphics. It doesn't look quite aligned for this fellow here, so let's shrink that ever so slightly. Still more, huh? Alright, yeah, that looks good. So now those colliders look completely aligned, that's good. And we need to do the same thing for the key. Key hard. For some reason this is still named Key easy. Okay, that's fine. We'll rename it Key hard then. We'll enable that, and we change the graphic to Key hard. This one I think I need to move a little bit up, and then I need to also flip it apparently. Okay, this is a little up tight there. Interesting I made that decision. But hey, whatever. Okay, that looks good to me. Yeah, apparently I did not. There we go. Okay, that looks a little better to me. So there's our exactly two spokes there. Okay, the spokes are just fine. We need to reposition the handle and everything. But yeah, that actually means these align really well. So let's copy the handles transform. Copy that. Alright, this actually needs to move up, like right around there. The key is probably needs to be made longer, I'm thinking. No, it's about the same length. Okay, that's good. So yeah, that collider now looks good, and it's just a question of removing these placeholder graphics. I'm thinking the handle collider needs to actually be raised a bit. Yeah, like right around there. So that composite collider looks right to me. That composite collider looks right to me. And we should be able to just play the game. Do I have it? Yeah, here it is. There we go. I didn't realize that practice mode had the currency system in there. We should take that out. Should be easy to do in code. Yeah. Looks nice. Alright, so the only thing we need to do, I should probably recode that too, that's bothering me. Yeah, the only thing that's left for the unlock microgame is to get the background finished. So let's get this background here. It has colliders and everything. Interesting that the collider here is so low. I wonder why that is. Anyways, we can get rid of all these graphics here. I can tell those are supposed to be sprite renderer graphics, but we don't need those anymore. We definitely don't need that anymore. I'm a little concerned that the bottom here is placed as such. And the background here is set at 5. What happens if we set that as 0? Okay. And then the bottom wall, for whatever reason, is set at a really low position that I'm kind of concerned with. That should be a little more up here, shouldn't it? Okay. So, cool. That's fine. Whatever. Anyways, we have the background stuff to work with, so I'm gonna use that as a quick shortcut to get there. And the unlock background is right over here. Yep, and then we just set that to the background and layer, and that's good to go. It seems to not take up the entire screen width here. It might be easier to kind of use thinner screen width. There we go. We can kind of, oops, I didn't mean to do that. So we can kind of use this as a reference. Make sure that the width and the height are the same. Make sure the background there is not affecting it. I wonder if it's supposed to look like this or it's supposed to look like this. Let's experiment with both. Yeah, it's supposed to look like the other way around. It will make sense. Yeah. I can try like lowering this ever so slightly to see what happens. Like set it to 1, 1, and then move this up a tiny bit. That actually kind of looks right to me. Maybe make it extra symmetrical like that. I don't know. Yeah, it does look like it was meant to be asymmetrical actually, but that's just me. Yeah, I'm gonna do it somewhere around here. Cool. And then, so that's fine, that looks good. And there is an alarm sprite that we can drop into the background here. Alright, it looks something like this, and we can just kind of like have that be located there. Kind of see how the transparency on that works. Okay, so it's actually a little larger than the background initially, so I'm gonna try shrinking this to like half the size initially. Yeah, I wonder if this is also supposed to look like kind of appear here too. Oh well. But yeah, we'll go with that. Cool. That is gonna be obscured by the instructions now that I think of it. Yeah, it would be, wouldn't it? Sure, let's make it that gigantic. See what happens. This one's going to be in the background, and we're going to put it in the first order background layout there. And we're going to add a quick animation to it. I guess we don't have an animation folder here, so we'll just create one. Animations. This one will create an animation controller and let's call it just alarm. Where's the unlock alarm? Drag and drop the unlock alarm component there. That should give us an opportunity to add a new, yeah, we'll just create one here. Where did I put this? An unlock animation. So we're going to go to prefabs, games. Okay, maybe not. Images. Unlock. Animation. And we're going to say alarm blink. What I want to do is we want to make sure that the alarm blink is at loop time, which it is. That's good. And then here's our alarm. That's good. We'll have it so it's at 60 samples. We'll add a keyframe. I guess it doesn't add a keyframe there. We'll start off by having it be completely invisible. We'll also have it so that it's, well, no, never mind. Let me keep it visible for now, and then what I'm concerned about is which rotational axis we want. So the Z is actually what we want. That's good. Yeah, let it store that rotation. You can tell that it created rotation thing there. That's fine. And then we'll go make that completely faded out. Let's move to, I guess, 10 keyframe. And we'll add a keyframe there, plus a keyframe here. And then 15, we're going to make fully visible. And then at 20, we're going to be invisible again. But during that same time, we're going to have the rotation go all full 360 degrees. So let's see how that looks. That looks really, really bad, actually. Yeah, that actually looks really, really bad. It's spinning way too fast, which is what I'm complaining about. So I can probably actually get rid of this keyframe, to be honest. Give it a sense that it's still spinning as it goes along. And then what we probably want to do is we want to spread out the spinning by a significant frame, so it doesn't look too bad. It doesn't look too fast, I mean. Let's set that one here, and yeah, let's look at this. We can probably lengthen this even further. Cool, that looks good to me. And then the curves for the alpha channel. I want to make sure that it's as long as possible, so we're going to make that flat. We're going to make everything flat, I guess. Alright, good. And then the dope sheet. So this is at 60. I probably want it to be slightly longer. Yeah, that looks good to me. Maybe make the spin a little faster after all. Yeah, that looks good. Alright, cool. So that's how we get our dinky repeating animation. And that should be good, in fact. We'll set everything off for now. Apply our changes. Open up our menu, look at the time. It's 3:34. Okay, we have plenty of time. We're streaming again, this time at Tech Valley Game Space channel, right after this at 7 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time. But yeah, we have plenty of time. We started out at 3, and it's still only 30 minutes since we've started working on this. So yeah, we should try unlock. The music obviously needs to be updated soon. Yep, and you can see the little alarm in the background there. That's good. So probably then what we can do is we can add an extra one of those, because that alone just doesn't look good enough to me. So yeah, that's fine. We can drop this alarm, and it won't make much logical sense, but I'm compelled to create another one like right here. And what I'll need to do is kind of create a offset, which I haven't really figured out a good way to do that yet. Yeah, let's add a float here. Offset. And then alarm blink. Speed, that's fine. Cycle offset, this is a parameter set to offset. Okay, that's good. So then we can actually kind of script this real quick if we wanted to. Yeah, let's script this very quickly. So it's going to take a while for Visual Studios to open, but hey, might as well. So in case you're curious what I did there, Unity has a way of setting the cycle offset to a different value, and in this case what I created was a parameter, float value called parameter, or excuse me, yeah, a float parameter called offset. Hello. Yeah, this is, anyways, and then you can see that through layers and through individual states, I can actually set the float value to be the value that Unity reads in instead as the cycle offset. So that's a useful technique to use. So here in alarm blink, now cycle offset is based off of the offset thing. I should probably also kind of create this float for speed and make the speed by default 1. So when I click on this and set the speed multiplier to an offset right there, that'll actually do that. Mirror, make that also a parameter. Heck, why not make it all parameters here? Yeah, there we go. All right. I'm being a bit silly, I admit. So then what I can do here is I'm going to create a quick class system.serializable just to kind of organize my information here. Alarm decoration, I'm going to call it. And then we want a serialize field vector to offset range, which equal new vector, let's say 0 to 1f. Speed range, let's call that 0.5 to 2. Well, 1.5. And then what we obviously want to get is the animator. Animation. And then we're going to say public void setup it'll go through the animation. We want to get the name of the each parameters. So offset field, which I just called it offset. Speed field, which I just called it speed. And the mirror field, which I just called it mirror. So set float offset field, we're going to set that float to random dot range. We don't want that deprecated obsolete value there. Offset range dot x, offset range dot y, got that. Speed field, we're going to change that to speed range. Hopefully I named these properly. Offset speed mirror, yeah, it should be. And then finally, we'll say set bool mirror field. And random has something called random.value, which is a value from 0 to 1. We're just going to check to see if this is greater than 0.5. If so, then mirror it. If not, whatever. And then finally, under all of that, objective challenge modifiers, I'm going to drop that under serialized field, and we're going to create an array of decorations. And then wherever I set the game to start, which is probably an override, yeah, set up game. Set up game sounds like a good place to start because it's properly named as such. For int index equals 0, index is less than the length of decorations, and plus plus index. Obviously, I'm going through all the array elements of decorations and calling setup. Set up all decorations. So now I should get an array of decorations somewhere towards the top. There we go. We have two. Element 1 is unlock alarm. The element 2 is unlock alarm. The speed range is incorrect. That should be 0.5 and 1.5. So it's a good thing to check these. Maybe we can add in one more. Feeling a little risky here. Let's duplicate that. And then this is our second one. All right, so let's turn that off. Set the prefab. I'm not a fan of that position of that variable. Why does it appear there? Okay, probably that's the reason. So let's just call this component. Move it towards the bottom of the list. Bring back the menus, and we should be able to play the game. I'll save it first, save the scene first before I lose anything. Give me a minute, just gonna drink a little bit of water here. Oh, it's really appearing slowly. I see. So yeah, that speed being so slow was probably not a good idea. That's fine. We can change that pretty quickly. So that was set to 0.5. We should probably wind that down to like 0.8 and 1.2. 0.8, 0.8, 1.2, 1.2, and 1.2. I was also debating about making them kind of smaller, so changing their size, because that kind of looks all very uniform to me and it bothers me. So let's also set this to size range. I like that. And then we're going to say animation.transform.local scale equal vector 3 1 times random dot range. Come on. Size range of x, size range of y. Yeah. In fact, that's actually not very efficient, so later on I'll probably change that code to be slightly more efficient in the sense that it creates a new vector, vector1, and then multiplies it by value, and I think that ends up creating two vector structs by which means that it's going to fill the memory very quickly if I went with that strategy. So I probably want to cache a vector instead. Okay, so the speed isn't quite where I want it, but that's alright. Alright, cool. I wonder why the speed isn't quite where I want it. Not sure, to be honest. Size range from 0.5 to 1.5. That didn't seem to do much, so yeah, as mentioned earlier, I probably want to do this efficiently anyways. Size equal vector 3 1. And then what would actually be easier, what would actually be slightly more efficient is just to set the individual values themselves. So size x is that, size y is equal to size dot x. Nope, I don't know what I did there. And size z is equal to that, and set the local scale to that variable. Randomize transform size. So I wonder what's going on there for some reason. Something happened. Countdown to 5 seconds. So yeah, okay, so that looks a little bigger. Actually, I'm curious, are the sizes randomized properly? Yeah, it looks like it. And then, I guess I chose really big size, which I'm not fond of. I think that should remain the largest, so I should allow the possibility of it being smaller. There we go. Yeah, I'm a little picky on how the presentation of the game is, if you couldn't tell. It's 5:35 or 3:40, 3:51. I can't read the clock. It's kind of funny coincidence that Mr. Troy D is watching and we're in Troy, New York here. Alright, so when we do that, this alarm is right here. Yeah, and this alarm is right there. This alarm at the top is right here. I'm just curious how each of these parameters are set. Okay, so these offsets are fine. Oh, okay. So it seems like the original animation where I set it to 30 is a little too slow for my taste, so let's switch that to 45 and see what happens. Towards the bottom there. Yeah, okay, so the size are randomized. I can actually tell pretty quickly. Alright, yeah, those are... It's going a lot faster, that's good. Alright, so that's good. There's a bug that I can see there. We're in practice mode and it says that you're gaining currency. That is not meant to do that, so... Yeah, game transition panel. I believe this is where the the currency is being displayed. Okay, so display currency, here it is. And then what I basically need to do is make sure that every time it pops that up, so where does it actually make references to this? Because I'm pretty darn sure this is the only thing that makes references to. Okay, so here it is. There's one during the transition panel where it displays that. Then what we can do is we can say if I think it's menu controller dot is mode, gameplay mode, double equals play session, debugging single game, play random game, or practice playing random game is the what case we want. If that is the case, that enabled is true. Alternatively, I can just set the... Actually, yeah. This doesn't quite work. Yep, this doesn't quite work. So what we need instead is an entire game object. The reason why it doesn't quite work, I'll go over currency set. And where I'm saying that enabled, I should instead switch that to set active, and then set active if this. So now what we need to do is make sure that our transition panel, this is the script I was just changing earlier, you're not helping me out here, Unity, by freezing. Okay, there we go. Currency set. So there's the currency label here. The currency panel is over here, and that's the reference we want. So set that, apply that, save, run the game. I think in the meantime, I'll commit everything that's related to that is related to unlock. Transition panel I don't care about. I don't care about these two either. Unlock prefab. Updating the unlock graphics. Feel pretty good about it. So if we start the game, the currency will show up. Alright, yeah. And that number goes up, then that's good. But if we're practicing the game, then the currency won't show up anymore. I wonder what's going on with that. This one? This one, yes. What's going on with you? The speed is at 1.1. Oh. So it's just really slow from the first place. Because speed being 1 is fine. Just a tiny bit slower from the original 60 frames there. So 60 plus 45 divided by 2, that's 105. 105 divided by 2 is 52. I'm just going to settle with 53. Save that. Oh, okay. What? Yeah, I don't know what that did. Oh, I must have tried saving the Twitch chat webpage by accident. Okay, cool. Yeah, this is what debugging looks like. Just being terribly unsatisfied and then keep changing it. There we go. Okay, yeah, that looks good. It's really fast, which is... It's annoyingly fast, which I don't like. But at least it's at a point where, to me, it starts to make sense. So, yeah. Right now it's at 53. I'm going to switch that back to 50. Yeah, I think those numbers are going to be fine. Alright, and yep, this should be pretty much what unlock should be. That's about an hour long, and then right after this I said that I was going to work on balancing Flappy Sombrero to be a little easier, because people has been complaining that we've been too Flappy Birdish with that game. So we need to make it easier when you only have like 5 seconds to figure out how to play the game. Go. I'm curious, it seems like you can grab from the middle here just fine depending on interesting. I wonder why that is. Oh, the sound effect still plays regardless of where you're at. Well, that bothers me too. I wonder why. That's interesting. I wonder how I coded this that made that happen. Default, 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 default. Okay, that's fine. These are all tagged as players. Yeah, that's fine. Player, 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 and the layers are all set to default. That's fine. Player, player, player. I'm curious about this. Yeah, how did I code this? Because the controls are a little wonky here. Pick up sound effect. If the collider if there is a collider, and compare, touch offset, set tracked. With that, and the player tag name is true, so that's the reason why it plays that sound effect, but that also implies that for whatever reason, these maze objects are set to player. I guess that's a mystery for another day. Flappy Sombrero. Where are you? I know you were here somewhere. Oh, there it is. Flappy Sombrero. Yes, we meet again. All right, so with Flappy Sombrero, the main problem has been that constraint angular. Okay, so let's just play the game and demonstrate why people didn't like it, seemingly. There it is. All right. So here's how you play. And I apparently suck at it. So yeah, here's how you play Flappy Sombrero. It's pretty simple. I mean, obviously I can do it fine, but I've been playing it forever, and I've definitely made this game a lot easier than it should looks. But the main reason why a lot of people have been complaining about it is largely because the gravity scale is set to a ridiculously high number. So I'm going to bring up... I think that was the only game I did terrible at. So what I'm going to do actually is try to bring up Flappy Sombrero here and then adjust a couple of numbers. So stop that for a minute. We're going to change this to like 0.8 this time. Okay, that's fine. What I'm trying to gauge right now is how quickly it falls. Okay, so I do think that that could actually be a little slower. Maybe like do it to half the original gravity. Oh, whoops, I didn't mean to push that shortcut. Oh well. Oh, whoops, that's right. Unity resets everything when you start playing. Ah, thanks, Mr. Troy D. Yeah, we did actually demonstrate this during MagFest, so cool. Where is Flappy Sombrero? There we go. Okay, so the flap is now too large, but you know, you fall a lot slower. So that's good. I might like reduce that flap strength. Yeah, because it becomes practically impossible to get it there. But half at gravitational scale actually feels really good to me, so I like that. And then the flat force is right now set to 16. Let's also kind of go by our original mentality and halve that. So 16 divided by 2 is 8. 15 divided, let's just make that also 8 too. And then let's apply all those changes there. Save that, play the game. So technically, I'm thinking that this will cause the sombrero to flap half the height. There, oh, whoops. There we go. Okay, that's way too small, but like, I can tell I don't like that just by looking at it. So let's switch that to, it was between 16 and 8. So what's halfway in between that? 6 plus 8. If I think of it as threes, then somewhere around 9. Or no, what am I thinking? If I think it by fours, I meant, so 12. So let's go with there. In the meantime, I should also commit my changes to the transition panel since that was in fact fixed. Transition panel to not show currency during practice mode. Back. Okay. Flappy sombrero, that's good. Start with that. Okay, I like that height a lot. Alright, yeah, that makes the game a lot easier, it looks like. I might make the height just a tinge bit stronger. I'm also thinking that it's flat below. Okay, yeah, so the starting point is a little too high actually. I'm gonna bring that down to 0. And then I'm thinking just a smidge bit higher because I kind of liked being able to tap less. Okay, that might be a little too much. I'm thinking that's a little too much. Yeah, I'm thinking that's a little too much. Yep. Just to make sure that I set everything here properly. The music for Flappy Sombrero? Ew. That one's from Kevin MacLeod. Spencer Bambrick, who is an awesome remixer, has been slowly replacing the music, which has been extraordinary so far as results. So I've been pretty happy with it. I don't even know why. I could just edit this in real time. I don't have to play this over and over again. I'm sorry for annoying you there. Okay, yeah, that feels good. I mean, I can tell that people's first reaction for this is going to be bonking their head on the ceiling, which I'm not sure I'm a fan of. So, to prevent people from bonking their head at the ceiling each time, I'll try to see if I can like lower the starting position. Okay, yeah, that feels a little better to me. Oh. Alright, so let's go with these numbers for now, and see how I feel about it. So my philosophy is, you know, tap less. Okay, yeah, no, it's barely passable, which is just about right. Alright, so that could use some slight adjusting, but I did set that to -1 at the starting position. So -1, and then I'm thinking just ever so slightly decreasing the flat force for starts. Yeah, I'm thinking this is going to be a good place to balance it out and stop. Oh yeah, whew. Yeah, that should make it a lot easier for people. Oh my goodness, that is so close. Alright, yeah. No, I have a good feeling about this. So this is good. I like this. Yeah. Alright, well, looks like I still have 15 more minutes, and that didn't take too long to balance that out. So a few more commits, and let's see if I have one more thing I can balance out on. Adjusting, unlock, prefabs, decorations. Rebalancing, flappy sombreros. Controls. Excuse me. Okay. The other one that I heard a lot of complaints about was it was the Jet Boots Joyride. I'm pretty darn sure. This one. Yep. So there's actually two different versions of Flappy Birds and two different versions of Jet Boots Joyride. But like it's kind of on purpose that they have different stats on them, and so I'm going to make the ones that are unlocked by default. It should tell me whether it's unlocked by default here. Yeah, price -1, that means it's unlocked by default. So this one, we should set its gravity scale to 0.5. It's already at its lowest, actually. So let's try playing in, see how it feels right now. Do I have it? Oh yeah, there it is. Whoops. Alright, so it could drop a little slower is what I heard. Alright, well, that's on me. So let's handle the gravity scale for a minute. I'm not sure I'm a fan of Chase, who put the sound design together, telling me boo each time I lose. There we go. Oh wow, that's really floaty. I'm not a fan of that. That is really floaty. I'm absolutely not a fan of that. Let's change that to, so it was 0.5 earlier. What's between 0.5 and 0.25? I'm gonna go with 375. Yeah, copy that. What might be going on also is that people have like this feeling of momentum going on. So yeah, maybe that's the problem. The sense of momentum isn't immediately obvious. I think the main problem a lot of people have been having is like curvature of flight could use work. So maybe that's about it. Yeah, let's go with like 3.75 or even 3.5 right now. And then the velocity, okay, so allowed velocity to angle. There's somewhere in here that says, that's a rotation animation. Okay, up force. Let's change that to 300 and see how that feels. Okay, that's no-brainer right there, but still. Yeah, okay, I like that drop, that fall speed. Oh wow. I still think that the jet boots force could be a little taller, so let's see how that feels. Okay, that's me being stupid. Oh. Ha! The collider box on that was a lot larger than I thought. Yeah. Oh, looks like The animation goofed there, that's fine. Okay, cool. Well, we don't care about that case. So let's kind of restart that from the beginning because it's just going to keep speeding up. I'm not entirely sure people are going to be a fan of the fact that just barely tapping causes your character to fly up high. Yeah, I'm not sure that's a good idea. Let's switch that back to 250. Because I feel like people, when they play this game, want a little more curvature. So like, let's drop that even farther down to 150. I'm wondering if that's actually working, to be honest. Yeah, let's go with that and let's apply that. I don't think it's taking my game stat into account. Yeah. Here go. There we go. Oh yeah, it's a lot slower. You can tell. Yeah, that's way too slow for my taste. It might just be that... Yeah, I'm thinking this is one of those rare games where you have to actually restart and the values are not up to date on real time. Yeah, there we go. Alright, so it rises a little slower, that's intentional. Doesn't quite feel like I need to put less effort, or like it doesn't quite feel what beginner-friendly control set, so let's kind of play around with that a little more. Stop telling me I need to play phone clicker. I already know the game. Jetboots Joyride, there it goes. Okay. Alright, that's cool. Yeah. Alright, so I think this is good. I have a good feeling about these parameters. 0.35, yeah. So yeah, I'll say save that, set that, save everything, and then commit. Rebalancing Joyride's controls. Yep. And that's it. So what we did today, we got a fairly easy micro game done called Unlock. We got the Flappy Sombrero and Jet Boots Joyride rebalanced because people were complaining about how they were too difficult. So that should make the game a little more easier and a little more easier to get into the actual game. And finally, we made a small bug fix on the game transition panel, which featured a tiny feature where the game transition panel now actually shows how much currency you're making throughout the game. So that's cool. You lose it all, obviously, if you stop playing the game, but at least it tells you now that, okay, yeah, you're actually making money as you're playing throughout the game. So that indication is there. So yeah, this is so far what we've got planned for today. And we'll see you guys next week. We're going to be making the next micro game, which was Make Me Happy. The one with the unfortunate set of animals who you need to compliment. So yeah, that's coming up soon. I'll see you guys. Also on Thursday, I should mention this, on Thursday I'll be presenting on how we made the graphics for Hidden in Plain Sight, a Ludum Dare game made by me in 72 hours. And that'll be going on at 3 o'clock at Eastern Daylight Time. Again, Thursday, 3 o'clock. I'll be streaming here and be basically starting an entire new project to get those graphics working and go through the step-by-step process to do so. And then again, next Tuesday, I'll be talking about the next micro game that we'll be pulling together. That would be almost the second to last micro game that we're going to be putting together for the streaming, and everything else from there is going to be about implementing new features to the game. So it's going to be pretty cool. And yeah, that's it. So I'll see you guys next week, or 2 days from now, or a few hours from now if you're going to the Tech Valley Games, if you're watching from the Tech Valley GameSpace chat that we're hosting. Yeah, we'll be streaming tonight at 7 o'clock. So we'll see you then at 7 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time, by the way. So we'll see you then. Bye.